giving away. I'm not for saying other taxpayers need to support my bill. I don't want that. I want the ability of equal competition. I want the even floor so that I, as an independent, can buy my insurance at the same price that a company is paying for a worker of AT&T or American Airlines or any other big corporation.
I think many of the reforms I've talked about can get us towards what you're talking about, because what we want to do is dramatically expand the size and flexibility of insurance pools and wipe out the pre-existing condition pool so that you can get into those. My concern, though, is if you structure the public option currently the way H.R. 3200 is, you dramatically increase the borrowing of the United States.
Can you create something to change that and offer on your policy and what you want to see so that there is a public option proponent that the Republican Party, though I'm a Democrat, will go along with so that we can eliminate this problem and literally grow together? Because if you listen to Obama when he spoke in Bozeman, Montana, at his speech there, he clarified and said, let's get rid of the garbage. Let's get rid of the Republican view, the Democratic view. It's a view to make it better so that we can all live together. That's what we're after. It's our culture.
Thank you. Right here.
Will you do that, Bill?
That's, by the way, why I built that centrist bill, because I think that's in the end where we're going to end up. And that will make some substantial.
So you'll offer a public option possibility?
I am against the public option, but I am.
There needs to be competition. The insurance companies without a public option, I don't want you to pay for that public option. I just want the ability of somebody to provide a group capability that I can get into. And a group policy that's a public option allows me that access that right now today, if I don't work for a major corporation, I get garnished.
I'm Nancy Voorhees, and I am in your district. And I want to say kudos on your electronic teleconferences. I think they've been very informative. And I would like to see them pre-publicized so I can be sure to be home. They were fabulous. And now what I'd like to suggest is probably something that would make every congressperson think. But I think that it would go across Republicans and Democrats. It seems to me that it's time for some congressional person to give consideration to proposing legislation which absolutely outlaws any sort of pork in any legislation. I know it sounds simplistic. I certainly understand that this is how business is done. However, let an issue live or die on the basis of its goodness or its unworthiness, and get rid of all the pork across the board in every piece of legislation.
Thank you. We have, I think, 57 members of the House Appropriations Committee. I'm the only one, Republican or Democrat, that doesn't earmark funds of that committee. When they put in the bridge to nowhere, remember that? It was a key moment in my career because it was in a Republican district, the chairman of the Transportation Committee. I offered the Kirk Amendment to wipe out the bridge to nowhere. It passed the House, and now, today, the bridge to nowhere will not be built. I'm a strong backer of just about every one of the earmark reforms that you've heard of.
Really suggesting a complete conceptual change of Congress approaches problem solving.
Yeah,
Eliminating negotiating with the court.
Yeah, I would just say that in general, it's the right direction because, as one British MP said, we are running out of other people's money. Sir. Well, let's go with each. Yeah.
I'm Nathan here from Washington Heights since 1962. But one gentleman, I believe, mentioned that asked you, how can we change things in Washington? And this gentleman over here was talking about the Democratic position. What we need to do is have the Democrats, those people who the politicians will listen to, all the Republican politicians know that we don't vote for them. Democrats don't know that we will vote for them. It's the Democrats who have to contact their Democratic politicians and tell them they don't want Pelosi and Reid and Obama, but they want what he's trying to prevent. He's got some good ideas, as do you, but they have to get rid of the individuals who want full control of the government, put through some of his things. But the Democrats need to contact their representatives and tell them, no, I don't want Pelosi and Reid. I want, in Obama, I want, similar to what he wants here, good, true health care.
Madam, so that you won't interrupt anybody, go ahead.
Actually, at your previous town hall meeting in Glenview and saw the same slide presentation in doctors, and I understand your position. Could you, in the interest of explaining the specifics about your specific proposals? And I mean by specifics, you have talked about technology can be brought in to share patient records so that there isn't overlap or duplicity of testing, for example. I'm sure that there is some specific technology firm that you have in mind, and I'd like to understand why you're promoting that. Because I've also seen that you wanted to utilize the Social Security card as a form of identification, which it clearly is not designed for.
I do not have any technology firm that I would be in favor of. This is something under complete open competition, and the President has laid out a substantial electronic medical record initiative. The Vice President was actually here in Chicago the other day. In general, what he has laid out sounds pretty good. And accelerating the deployment of fully electronic medical records, the one thing I would make sure is owned by each American. Amen. Is, I think, the way to go. And so there's not a lot of disagreement that I have with what the Vice President laid out on fully electronic.
Do you feel that that's important to spend money on expanding that? How do you feel about the Medicare system of record keeping and the VA's record keeping?
Well, the
I mean,
VA,
why can't those be expanded?
right, the VA has covered about 25 million veterans now with electronic medical records. And I think much of what the Vice President talked about is along the lines of the early success that the VA had. But on Social Security cards, quick quiz question. Does the Social Security card have your picture on it? No. Yeah. Does it have any other identifying things except the signature? No. What government document is more counterfeited than any other in America? This is, many of you know I'm still in the military. This is a military ID card. And the old military ID card. The old military ID card. By the way, if you're a veteran, raise your hand. Thank you, guys. The old military ID card was a green card with a picture in it, a signature. It was started to be counterfeited. This is the new one. It's called a CAC card, a Common Access Card. It has a barcode. It has a chip. It has a strip. It has a picture in the back. It has a number. But, madam, I didn't interrupt you. And so it has a number of protections. And the U.S. military has now issued about 10 million of these. They cost about $8 each. And we want to say to America's seniors, if you would like a secure Social Security card, you should be offered the opportunity to